Okay, we are live. I'm going to wait a little bit here and just kind of wait a little bit. See if we get any people coming on in. So, a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about. Basically going through... well, first off, I should probably go ahead and introduce myself for those of you who don't know. I am John Wise, and you are watching Comicgeddon TV, and this is my Star Wars story. Basically, what I'm going to be going over is my history through Star Wars. So, where when I first watched the first movie, all the way through to the prequels, through the new movies, and a little bit in between, like the figures and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And excuse me. And of course, you can feel free to comment below while I'm speaking, or after you've watched this video, comment below. Of course, like and subscribe so you get all of the newest Comicgeddon TV videos. And yeah. Okay, so my history through Star Wars is pretty much as follows. I was born in 1979, so 2 years shy of being able to catch the original Star Wars movie. You have no idea how bummed I am about that. Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980. When it came out, I was 4 months old. From what I was told, we did go see Empire Strikes Back at a drive-in theater. I do not recall this, but that's what I was told. Also, I vaguely remember in '83 seeing Return of the Jedi. So to me, Return of the Jedi is essentially the first Star Wars film I had a chance to see at the theater. And it was, again, that one was at a drive-in. We loved going to the drive-in. And check some things here. Make sure everything was okay. And the only reason why I know I saw Return of the Jedi at the drive-in is because I remember looking through the car window, and I remember seeing Yoda, and I remember seeing the Ewoks. That's it. So that's all I remember. Until later on, they would come on they would air on television, mostly on like ABC's Sunday night movies. That would be when I would first see the original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and live stream, baby, and Return of the Jedi. But of course, those all had commercials. I wouldn't get a chance to see the original trilogy in its uncut form until VHS when we got a VCR, and I loved them. I absolutely loved them. I owned like one Star Wars vehicle, and it wasn't even a main vehicle. It wasn't a vehicle that was even showed up in the movies. It's like this little brown ship that kind of, I can't even describe what it was. It was like brown. It was like 2 shades of different brown. And I had a couple of figures. The only character I actually remember was General Nadine. or General Madine. It's the only figure I actually remember owning. I didn't own Luke or Han or Chewie. At the time, I wasn't a huge Star Wars fan like I am now. My thing was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. But I did own a few Star Wars toys. Now, skip to... Good God. I believe it was 96 when they released the Star Wars Special Edition. I think they released them at the theaters. It was like the coolest thing. It was exciting. I was hyped. I was buying the new Star Wars figures, which a lot of fans have labeled them the superhero figures because they were so buffed up. This might also have been 97. 96, 97 kind of meshed together for me because I got to see the Star Wars for the very first time on the big screen. It was a special edition, but it was Star Wars. And the reason why I say it meshes is because I was in the process of moving from the Cook County area near Chicago to where I live now in Decatur. So I didn't get to catch Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi until they actually were released on VHS. Again, I didn't get to see the entire trilogy, the new trilogy, until VHS. My first impressions of the special edition, A New Hope, as it was labeled, it didn't bother me at first. I think I was just still in the whole, oh my god, I'm seeing Star Wars on the big screen for the very first time. Of course, years later, I would grow up and realize this was really stupid. Why did he do this? But at the time, it was really cool because we didn't have any Star Wars films being viewed at the movie theaters. So this was really cool. And then, of course, shortly thereafter, it was announced that Lucas was going to bring us brand new Star Wars films. With episodes 1, 2, and 3, they didn't have a name at the time. We just knew they were going to be prequels. They were going to be before Luke Skywalker. We assumed it was going to be all about Vader, and we were correct. And it was just an exciting time. The hype going into episode 1 of Phantom Menace, as it would be called in 99, was so cool because I was still in high school at the time. And I'm getting kind of goosebumpy thinking about it. For me, it was really cool because this was going to be the first new Star Wars film that I got to see, that I was going to see at the theater. I was going to be a part of this huge new event. It was going to be something special, and to me, it is still special. I still have a special place in my heart for Phantom Menace, regardless of whether it was a good movie, bad movie. I still have a spot in my heart for Phantom Menace, and to me, it's still not the worst one. Episode 2 still holds as the worst Star Wars film for me. The hype going into there. Now, I'm somebody who I don't like spoilers. The new Iron Man movie comes out, or Star Trek, or Justice League, which comes out as I'm recording this week. I don't want to know. Back then, when, like Batman Forever came out, or Batman Returns, I wanted to know everything. When Star Wars Phantom Menace came out, I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know who all the characters were. I wanted to know the story, the plot. I wanted to know everything. This was going to be awesome, right? So cool. I was in school during lunch period where I'd sneak into the IMC, or the library, which is what it was. I don't know why they call it the IMC. But I would sneak in the library, I'd go on the computer, and internet was still in its infant stage. It was like growing up, and you had to use like Internet Explorer and download movie trailers. You couldn't just click a button and there it is. They would have to download. So I would download the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer, and I would constantly play it before it was even finished. And, my God, it was just, I'd watch it over and over and over again. I absolutely just couldn't wait. And we had a friend of ours who had agreed, he had it in his mind that he was going to skip school, stay the night at the camp out at the movie theater, and get our tickets. So we gave him our money. He came back to school the next day. He gave us our tickets. We were like, yes. I mean, it was so big. I was in a bowling class. That was my PE. And a buddy of mine, we would constantly change our names on the computer to like Qui-Gon Jinn, or Obi-Wan Jenkins, or Darth Chris, or Obi-Wan John Kenobi, or some. We were just being dorks. We were excited. We were hyped. We were ready. We got there. There was lines going into the movie theater. I had brought my lightsaber with. I didn't dress up, but I did bring my lightsaber with. I had my Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber I bought at Toys R Us. And it was just all... We sat down. We go through the trailers. And this was when commercials before the previews at the theater were new. Like, there used to be previews, movie. Now, of course, you have the screen time, like trivia, and the behind the scenes of this movie and that. Then we get commercials. Then we get movie trailers, and then we get the movie. This was a new concept, and the one blasted commercial that they kept playing was an advertisement for bod. I want your bod spray, or something like that. After seeing the movie 5 times, it got really annoying. But then the screen would go black, and you'd get the Lucasfilm, the now famous Lucasfilm, a little like green glitter gold logo, and then you get In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, and then John Williams' infamous the theater went apeshit. We all just went nuts. We loved it. We couldn't help ourselves. Like, we knew that we were going to be a part of something new, something fantastic. We are now part of something fantastic. We now were able to share in the joy of what people were like back in '77 when they first saw Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. We were now part of the elite group. And it was just such a wonderful feeling. It was so great. It was so grand. I particularly enjoyed the movie. I really liked it. There were aspects of the movie I didn't like. I didn't like the whiny kid Anakin and all that, but I really enjoyed Qui-Gon Jinn and loved Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie. But this was back in '99. I graduated later on that year. So a few years later, when Episode 2 came out, I was no longer in high school. I was still talking to most of my friends from high school. And Episode 2 came out. And Episode 2, I didn't stay the night at the theater, but I did go early morning, afternoon to get my tickets. There was a small line of some people who actually did stay the night. I actually had a pop tent. And that was kind of cool. I actually kind of befriended them there. We walked to Toys R Us. We bought some lightsabers. We talked Star Wars. We played Star Wars board game. It was an amazing time. Bought the tickets, was ready, went there, got to see episode 2, same experience on opening day, first showing, and so again with the Star Wars fans, and again, the moment the screen went black, and you saw the Lucasfilm logo, and you got Galaxy Far, Far Away, and the John Williams Orchestra theme went off. Again, the crowd just went, yes! I mean, you haven't seen Star Wars until you've seen a theater with a bunch of fans. It is the greatest experience. Unfortunately, like I said, episode 2 ended up being my least favorite of the entire saga so far. During this time, of course, I'm still buying action figures. I still have on my wall, they've never been touched since I put them on the wall. I still have my episode 1 figures. I didn't buy too many episode 2 figures. I think I have a few. Not a whole lot, though. Episode 3, I did buy a few figures. I had to get Tarkin. I got Emperor. I've got a Target exclusive Lava Vader figure, and a couple of the Emperor's guards, a red and blue guard. But episode 3 is kind of a funny story. I was like, all right, so all these people camped out for episode 1. All these people camped out for episode 2. Well, I'm going to camp out for episode 3. Keep in mind, this was roughly, I believe, around the time Fandango started, where you can order your tickets in advance. This was like 2004. My cat's going apeshit. Sorry. But I was unaware of exactly what it was. You were able to order your tickets in advance online. No clue what it was all about. I saw the commercials, the little paper bags, puppet talking. It was cute. It was funny. Really didn't pay too much attention. Enter the night night before the tickets were going to go on sale. I get in my car. I have it packed up with food. I have it packed up with blankets. I have it packed up with a lawn chair. I have it packed up with my DVD player. My little handheld game system I had at the time. And my little mini DVD player, I had all my Star Wars films. And I was going to be there all night. And I was there all night from like 11 o'clock at night to the next day when the theater opened. And I was the line. I was the only one who showed up, besides a friend of mine who came to check out the line. It was a memorable experience. It was interesting. I had a hard time staying awake. So, the person who came to open up the theater, they pulled up, they see me sitting in his chair. Looks at me. As my exhausted self, because at this point I'm about ready to pass out. I'm like, I literally been here since 11 o'clock last night. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we'll be open in a moment. Like, what are you here for? I'm like, Star Wars tickets. I'm like, okay. They weren't supposed to let anybody camp out this time, so nobody told me that. But they opened. I got my Star Wars Episode 3 tickets. I had got money from people to get them tickets. Episode 3. Now, the hype was a little bit big, pretty big for this, because as far as we knew, this was going to be the last Star Wars film. And this was going to be the film that took place before Episode 4, the one with Luke Skywalker. This was going to be the one where we see freaking Darth Vader. out of the three prequel films, this was my favorite. I loved the hell out of it. It was great. I really loved it. And again, saw it with fans, first showing, opening day, and just the crowd went crazy. It was fantastic. It was an experience. We all got out of the theater. We were like, this has been a great ride. It's been 5 years of Star Wars heaven, Star Wars bliss, you know. We wish it can continue. And it kind of did. Not the theater, but it did kind of continue. We ended up getting Star Wars animated series Clone Wars, which I just actually finished. And it was a good series. I actually was really sad it ended with so many unanswered questions. But then we have Star Wars Rebels, and quite a few of the episodes there kind of closed out a lot of the story gaps from Clone Wars. Now, we get into the huge surprise. And the surprise is this. Now, we had been told for years from George Lucas that we were going to get a TV show, a live-action TV show, and we were going to get this, we were going to do that, he was going to do this, that. Nothing ever came about it. We were just kind of like, yeah, he's talking, whatever, great, way to go, you know, stop messing with our movies. And then the big announcement. The one that just was under the radar. Nobody knew what was going on. Boom! Disney buys Lucasfilm. What? How did they keep that quiet? Right? Like, what does it mean you bought Lucasfilm? What does this mean? Well, they own Star Wars. They own Indiana Jones. Okay. Yeah, well, we're going to end the Clone Wars, and we're going to do another animated series called Rebels. Okay. Oh, and we're going to do a new trilogy. Star Wars geeks everywhere. Heads and asses exploding everywhere from excitement. Like, wait a minute, okay, what is this trilogy going to be about? And immediately, the first thing I said, and I'm sure I'm not alone, is fucking Thrawn trilogy. Want the Thrawn trilogy. I love Grand Admiral Thrawn. And then I got to think, well, if they do that, they're going to have to recast. Because there's no way, you know, they might be able to get Mark Hamill and maybe Carrie Fisher to come back to portray their characters, but they'll be older. They'll never get Harrison Ford to come back to play Han Solo because he didn't want to come back for Jedi, Return of the Jedi. There's no way. So, all we knew was it was going to take place so many years after Return of the Jedi. It was going to be episodes 7, 8, and 9. Again, amazing. Like, I'm a little girl. Love this. I can't wait. What is it, you know? And we got the announcement that Mark Hamill's going to return. Okay. Carrie Fisher's going to return. So we're going to have Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia in the new trilogy. That's awesome. And then the bomb. Han Solo, Harrison Ford, is coming back for the new trilogy. This is awesome. Right? Like, some people consider Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman in the Trinity. No. Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker. There's your Trinity right there. The film could do no wrong, in my eyes. They got the original 3. They're going to continue it. They're going to pass the torch to a whole new, you know, it's the only way they're going to be able to continue 3 trilogies. They got to pass the torch somehow. At this point, we didn't know anything about the plot. We still really, up until the movie debuted, didn't really know anything about the plot. There were assumptions, there were some confirmations here and there about various things. We knew there was going to be a new Dark Jedi, not a Sith, but somebody who we would find out was from the Knights of Ren. Interesting. And we still know nothing really about the Knights of Ren. So I'm really hoping with this new Last Jedi movie that we get a little bit more backstory there. And I'm really sure we will. And then we got, we got this new mysterious character named Finn, who one of the first images we saw of him was holding a lightsaber, so we all assumed he was going to be the new Jedi. I was like, this is pretty cool. Then we got Rey, who eventually we saw with a lightsaber, and I'm like, are there going to be two Jedi? I mean, there was confusion everywhere. Everybody was just foaming at the mouth. They wanted, and this was the first time since the Phantom Menace that I wanted to know everything. I felt like a kid again. I felt like, back in, I was in 97 and 99. I felt like I wanted to know everything. But at the same time, I didn't. I also wanted to be surprised. Again, I felt like a kid. I went out on Force Friday. I bought up every single figure I could find. And I think at the time, I managed to get a hold of every single Wave 1 and eventually Wave 2 figure. I think at the moment right now, I'm only missing 2 or 3 figures out of the Force Awakens line. That's not bad. And that's only because none of the stores in our town got them. And if they did, it's because somebody in the back of the store goes, ooh, and kept them for themselves. So, I have Han Solo and Chewbacca from the Force Awakens, the older versions, but I had to order those online, so. But this was fantastic. I was going crazy. A lot of people we wanted more. We want to know. The movie needs to hurry up. Around this time, it was announced by Disney that they were going to be doing solo Star Wars movies as well. And the first one, of course, that was announced was Rogue One, and it was also assumed that we were going to get a Han Solo movie, a Boba Fett movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. We didn't know, it wasn't confirmed what the other movies were. Of course, now we know one of them is Han Solo. It's titled Solo. But we knew Rogue One. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. So we're going to get a Star Wars film in between episodes 7 and 8. And 7 hasn't even came out yet. This is awesome. So, it's the time. It's time. Force Awakens debuts. I go see it, special showing, the night, that Thursday night. I saw it with my girlfriend, who, a little bit of backstory here, had never seen the original Star Wars, but she wanted to see this one because it had Harrison Ford in it. It's like, well, you cannot see Force Awakens with Harrison Ford until you see the original trilogy. Luckily, I have episodes 4, 5, and 6 with the special feature being the original trilogy non-special edition. They added it as a bonus feature with the special edition versions. And my cat's going crazy again. Sorry. So she has yet to still see the special edition versions. Haven't shown them to her yet. So she agreed. I showed her the original, and she goes, "Why have I not seen these before?" And this is immediately, of course, her favorite character ended up being Princess Leia. So she was ready to go see Force Awakens with me. We absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. Out of the 7 movies, Force Awakens, for me, beat Empire Strikes Back. I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for that, but for years, Empire Strikes Back was my favorite. And Force Awakens managed to beat it out of its first spot for me. Sorry. I know a lot of people are like, it's just a rehash of the first film. I get what they were doing with it, and I liked it. I really did. So, loved the movie. I think I went to the theater. I think I saw it like 3 times at the theater. Which I feel bad, because I saw episodes 1, 2, and 3 5 times at the theater. Each. And my goal was to see Force Awakens at least 5 times in the theater. Still not the most I've seen a movie. The most I've seen a movie was I saw The Return of the King 6 times at the movie theater. Whole different trilogy. Maybe another story later on. Wasn't disappointed. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, was when the movie came out on Blu-ray. I think Walmart, Target, and Best Buy each had their own special version of the film. One was like a steel case. The other one was a special BB-8 cover. Another one had like art cards or something like that. I went out, bought all 3 versions of that, plus the regular version. I still have yet to open up. I still have yet to open up the other 3 special versions. I don't know why. I swear my cat got in a catnip or something. So, go away. Lost my train of thought. So, episode 7, done. In the books. That leaves the upcoming Rogue One movie. I'm intrigued. I really liked what Disney did with The Force Awakens. I'm really interested to see what they do with a standalone Star Wars film. With characters that we had never been introduced to yet. We've never heard of. I knew nothing about Rogue One. I didn't know if it was going to be based on a novel or a graphic novel or a comic or something like that. The only thing I knew was a huge announcement that they were trying to keep secret, and that was Darth Vader was going to be in the movie. Alright, and it was going to be before episode 4, but after episode 3. So I was like, well, it's a prequel sequel. Interesting. Went to go see it. Again, my girlfriend had to go with because she really wanted to see it. I wasn't going to say no. I have an awesome girlfriend. And again, my mind was blown. To me, Rogue One, for me, Force Awakens was I won't say, I'm not going to say Force Awakens was the better film out of the episode series. I still stand by Empire being the best film. But my favorite film was Force Awakens out of the episode saga. My favorite Star Wars film is Rogue One. I was completely blown away by the story, by the characters. It was amazing. And the fact that it wasn't just a prequel to episode 4, it was a lead-in to episode 4. Like, literally, the movie ends, episode 4 begins, and if you watch Rogue One and then watch episode 4, A New Hope, the movie really changes. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my cat, I swear. But episode 4 really changes. It changes the story. It changes the way you look at the characters. That's why Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. There's been 8 Star Wars movies, not including the animated Clone Wars that they did. There's been 8 live-action Star Wars films, and Rogue One is my favorite. I think it's the best not my favorite, but I think it's the best Star Wars film. Period. So, in Rogue One, I have to kind of gush about a little bit more here, because of course I bought some of the action figures. I didn't go out of my way to buy all the action figures. I just bought my favorite characters. But what it allowed me to do, and I know it's not called an AT-AT in the movie, it's called something else, but I always wanted an AT-AT, and I had one, like the 1997 version, and I had brought it back to the store because I didn't come with the 2 action figures it was supposed to. Somebody took them out. And then, of course, a few months later, they came out with those action figures single-carded. So I never got my AT-AT. And then when this Rogue One came out, they had this new one. It was battery operated. You can operate it with your cell phone. It is amazing. I absolutely love it. I was so excited to get it. I played with it all the time. And yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. The movie allowed me to finally get my AT-AT. So, again, what Rogue One did was it really got me, my mouth watering for Episode 8. Like, alright, I'm ready. I want Episode 8 now. And of course, we know more about Episode 8, I think we knew, than about Episode 7. And we knew that Mark Hamill was going to be in it. We knew Carrie Fisher was going to be in it. However, we know Harrison Ford's not returning. We won't get into that. As far as I know, of course, Chewbacca is going to be in it. Don't know if Lando's going to be in it, or don't know if any other original character is going to show up in this. We were all excited. Rogue One had just came out. We had that amazing... I think people are so quick to criticize. Everybody thought Tarkin looked god-awful, horrible in Rogue One, and the Princess Leia cameo at the end was horrible. This is stuff they couldn't do 10 years ago. They brought an actor back from the dead and put him in a movie made today. That was amazing. And regardless of whether you think that's right or wrong, in my opinion, as long as whoever has the rights to that character or that actor, if they say, yeah, go for it, put him in the movie, he'd great. He would love it. Do it. So that's all I'll say on that. I thought it was amazing. And then the kick in the nuts. The heart just got ripped out of everybody's chests. The death of Carrie Fisher. Of course, I mean, on everybody's mind are like, Princess Leia is dead? What? No. You know, and then you're thinking there's still 2 more movies. And at this point, we didn't know how much of the other 2 movies, or even the newest one, how much she filmed. And this is how I found out that she died. I was on eBay the day she died. Before I knew she died, I was on eBay, and I was in the process of buying a 1977 completed Princess Leia figure. It was like $25-$30. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get that. It's cheap. Usually they go for like $50-$70, you know. Sometimes $100. And she's loose, you know, side of the package. So like, no problem. Completed the transaction, waiting for my confirmation to come into the email and pop up on my phone. I go on Facebook. And one of the first things that pop up on my Facebook, Carrie Fisher dies. Or Star Wars Carrie Fisher dies. What? Like, bullshit, BS. It's one of those, fake things. I'll go on, like, TMZ or Yahoo News or something, and it won't even be there. I'll keep scrolling, and almost every time I scroll up, Carrie Fisher dies. Carrie Fisher dead. This is true. Holy shit! I check all the news sites. Carrie Fisher dead. I'm like, oh my god! About that time is when my little email popped up on my screen, confirmation, confirmed. And I click it, still in like, oh my god mode, and I end up going back to eBay, and it was insane. Like, literally, just minutes after I bought my Princess Leia figure, everything, all the Princess Leia figures from 77, 97 to current were going anywhere. And then these are just the loose figures alone were going for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. There was one of them was going for like a crazy $5,000. It's like, oh my, I'm gonna take advantage, I was getting kind of sick of me. I ended up going back to Facebook. Oh my god, I just can't believe, Of course, we would find out that she did complete all her scenes for episode 9, which it was just right then. It was just still called episode 9. We didn't know it was called Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, like we do now. And we found out that none of her, I don't believe any of her scenes were filmed for 9. We were also told that they were not going to use the technology that they used on Tarkin for Carrie Fisher for episode 9. They weren't going to do it. So, and then we get the trailers for the new Last Jedi. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold, so lingering cough. We get the trailers for The Last Jedi. The first one we didn't get a whole lot. The second trailer, was it second or third trailer, we did get the with the inner conflict with Kylo Ren. He's flying, destroying various ships around a bigger ship that we believe that Princess Leia is on. We believe he senses that she's on that ship, and she senses that he's out there in space, kind of like that Vader Luke moment in Empire. And it is believed that Kylo will end up killing Leia in a movie. Of course, we would like to see her go out more heroic, not go out so much as Han did. If they're going to establish Kylo Ren as this teetotal evil, just douche, then he has to kill Leia. That, and it's, other than saying, oh, she's going away on a mission somewhere else, it's really the only way for her to go out. Maybe trying to save her son. Trying to bring him back to the light side. But we won't know until next month. And it is a month. It is, I think we are at that month point, in 1 month, and we're gonna finally get to see the second part of this new trilogy. And like the previous trilogy, on Force Friday, I did go out, I did buy my share of action figures. A lot of them I was disappointed that they were basically the same figures as the Force Awakens ones, but they re-released them with like little microchips or something so they can talk. I don't care about that. I did buy the Luke Skywalker, Jedi Rey, Training Rey Kylo Ren, the smaller figures, and I bought a couple Black Series figures. I bought the Luke Skywalker, and one I didn't even know was coming out, and I'm so excited because I mentioned it prior. Grand Admiral Thrawn figure, and I'm excited because he's one of my favorite characters. I really want to see a live action movie with him in it. So, so there we go. I mean, those are my memories. Those are my feelings. Those are my thoughts. That's my Star Wars story. Very interested to know what you think. I'm very interested to hear your stories, your fond memories of Star Wars. I have so many more. I mean, we're at the coming up to the 46-minute mark. I have so many Star Wars memories. I can go on and on all night long. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you comment at the bottom. Please like and share. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss any awesome videos from Comicgeddon TV. Until next time, this has been my story. And why not call me Retro John?